Hey, I'm Mindy Kinnis. This is the Daily Rage. And today, what I want to talk about is normalizing losses and more specifically, normalizing talking about losses. There are a lot of people online that will be happy to share with you all of their wins and their profits. And look what I did, when it's going well. And they might not be so apt to talk about their losses or when things aren't going as well. So I want to just kind of level that playing field and just normalize that, because in my regular business, so for those of you that haven't known me for a very long time, I've been an entrepreneur for the past 15 years. And in my membership group that I run for that, I am always talking about the mistakes I made. I'm like, okay, I made this mistake, I made this mistake, I made this mistake. So y'all don't do those things. Let's look and see how to do it better than the ways that I did it as I was learning and as I was figuring things out. So I'm bringing the very same mentality over to my trading world. And I want to talk about my loss today. My loss today was the biggest loss of October, which sucks. It was just under $500. But if you add in the commissions for trading futures, then it was over $500. Now, one thing that I'm reminding myself of in this conversation and want to share with all of you and just remind you all is progress over perfection, right? So it used to be, and I've talked about this before, but I used to have some losses that were like thousands upon thousands of dollars lost in a single day or even in a single trade. Now that was crazy. I did not know what I was doing. I was like super out of control. I had no risk management. It was not a good situation. So to have come to this point where I'm like really, really, really annoyed about a $500 loss, and that was the biggest one for this whole month. Okay, yes, that is progress. Am I delighted and happy about that? No, I am not. But that's also okay, because one of the things that trading is all about, and this is one of the reasons that I love it so much, is it's purely psychology. Once you get the gist of it, once you get the technicals of it, the rest of it is all about what's going on in your brain and how much you can control yourself to make the right decisions or to be patient or to have discipline or all of these things that are the inner work of trading. The external stuff, that's the easy part. Clicking some buttons and looking at the charts, that part's simple. But it's like, how are we reacting? How are we navigating? How are we making decisions as we are faced with like all of these different indicators and different chart patterns and all of the different things? So with all of that said, I do want to recognize progress over perfection. And I suggest that you do too, because perfection, it's not even a goal. It is an impossible feat for all of us, for any of us that are human. So that's not even something that I would suggest that you strive for, but definitely strive for progress. And how do you know if you are having progress? By tracking everything. Track everything. In my life these days, I track everything. I track my weight. I track my workouts. I track what I eat. I track my trades. So it's just become kind of this systematic thing for me. All of it I track in Airtable. So it's super easy. There's an app on the phone, or you can do it online and just keep track of all of your stuff. What I will leave you with is just the idea that it is completely normal and expected and okay to take a loss in trading. It is part of the game. I was just on a webinar this morning and someone was talking about you can lose up to, 40, 50, 60, 70% of the time. And that is normal. And yet, if you're doing it right, you can still end up profitable. Those smaller percentages, if they're runners or they're big winners, that can really change the game. So I'm just fingers crossed, not that we're into hopium in this world, but if I can finish out this week with maybe one or two of those type of days, that would be awesome. But regardless, it is part of the game. And if you want to play the game, you have to get comfortable not only taking a loss, but maybe even talking about it. So I hope that me sharing with you will encourage you to share with your friends or your trading buddies, whomever that might be. I'm Mindy Kinnis. Thanks so much for watching.